Okay, welcome back to Ascendant Council. Now this is a 3-phase fight. You've seen I have a yellow marker, which I'll explain for phase 1 here in a minute. In phase 1 you're tanking Ignatius and Faludius. As a tank you want to face these guys away and have interrupts go off for every single cast of Hydrolance on Faludius. Faludius also casts Glaciate, which will one-shot people unless you have an immunity, so you need to have Faludius dragged away. In this progression kill, we were doing two tanks, but we will switch to one tank. And during that time, we will use a timer of Faludius' Glaciate to move Ignatius away and have the melee group move along with me. But I probably recommend two tanking it while you're progging on it, just to be extra safe. Now the reason I'm tanking Faludius and not Ignatius here is because I can use Strangulate to get his Hydrolance cast, which often comes after Glaciate, and this allows people to pump more damage into Ignatius. Because Ignatius casts a shield that needs to be broken to be interrupted. After that we stack them back together, cleave damage, and at 25% they swap to the next two bosses. We have the yellow marker in the middle of the room for people with the opposing debuff, Static, Overload, and Gravity Core to run into each other to negate them. And that's pretty much it. Just face the bosses away, interrupt Hydrolance. Glaciate occurs on a timer, so if you have amazing DPS, you might be able to push the bosses to 25% before it happens again. But if you have a second Glaciate, run him out and have a range, get the Hydrolance interrupt. At 25%, phase 2 starts. Orion and Terrestra, the next two bosses that spawn, pick them up and put them to the middle. We notice that if you put them in the middle, the tornadoes and the grounded effects spawn near the middle as well, which is really helpful for the raid. You want to make sure every interrupt goes off. There is a cheese mechanic where you can use the debuff, you can let an interrupt not go through and have double DPS, but I'll cover that strat later. The order for getting the winded debuffs or the grounded debuffs is always get winded first, wait for Quake, then get the grounded one. For this kill, we interrupted everything. We let nothing go through. Notice these frozen orbs going past. We want to try and keep them out of the middle as much as possible. I had to move them apart. The reason being is that we want to keep the middle free for the melee and the tanks. So after the Quake goes off, we get the grounded debuff, and this should be how you alternate getting the winded debuff or the grounded debuff. Frozen orbs fixate a player and start chasing them, except for the tanks. The frozen orbs pick up speeds the longer they're up. The bosses also spawn fire patches on the ground. Once these patches fully formed after the animation goes off, there'll be a fire circle. The orbs can be kited over the circle to destroy them, and that's the mechanic for this phase. Alternate debuffs, interrupt the boss, and try to even out the DPS between the two mini bosses until we have the third boss, the third phase, which is going to be solo tanked. Let me speed that up there. Now, the third phase, the boss spawns in the middle, and he spawns these pools that does taking damage to people standing in it. So you want to kite him around the room. The way we go is towards the east of corner of the room, and back around the stairs, and back around towards the entrance. That's my movement pattern. One thing that I did wrong here is you'll see is that I was a bit too slow on the movement because the pool is spawned faster in Heroic, so keep that in mind. So you want to do some DPS on him, do some DPS on move, and just dodge stuff. It's really simple as a tank here. You aren't getting hit too hard either. That's pretty much the entirety of phase 3. It's pretty much a kill if you get it here. Just make sure you move out of it so your melee can still DPS the boss from behind. Enjoy your kill. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe. I have something pretty exciting coming out for tanks real soon. I hope you like this kind of content. Please share. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.
Yes, bro. Well done, guys.
Okay, tier complete.
Yeah.